I love to make interactive shaker cards, and in this video I'm sharing some new, unique types of shaker cards to shake things up. Hello and welcome to Karen's Creative Cards on YouTube. I am Karen Heshik, and I had so much fun trying these different ways to add shaker elements to our cards. I recently saw a faker shaker card that did not require acetate or raising any part of the card up, and this is the first faker shaker card I made. So you can see that it has glitter and shells, and they move very easily inside this little pouch. Then I made a slimline version of it, and I put just a little faker shaker behind this window here. I put a few too many of the sequins in there, and they don't move a lot, but they still do some movement. It says, "Wishing you a totally awesome day," with a new die I just got from Kreative that's just adorable. This is my favorite of the faker shakers I made. So it's like a faux shaker, but it definitely does shake. It just doesn't require the typical having to have acetate and raising it. So it's real easy to do. I have some sand in there and seashells. Sure do miss you. And then I put a star fish inside, okay? And I'm going to show you how easy it is to make that. So you're going to put a back piece, whatever you want, behind your shaker inside one of these acetate bags that are designed for protecting our cards. So they're sold all over the place, and this is it's called an A2 plus size that I happen to have a whole bunch of, and it has an adhesive strip, and that's already going to create a little bag. Okay, so you put your piece, your back piece in, and you know, can be designer paper or plain cardstock. I chose to use Tonic Studios Iridescent pink mirror card, which I just love to emboss, and I embossed it with a new embossing folder I just got from Stamping Up with those pretty shells on there. So that part is done. Then all you're going to do is put in whatever elements you want inside. I happen to have this really cool summer, it's called Summer Mud Puddles, but Mud Puddles makes all sorts of sand for our projects, and it just really looks just like sand, which is really cool, I think. So I'm going to put some of that in there. And then I got this selection of pink and yellow mini seashells from Cat Scrappiness. So I'm going to put some of those in. And then I have this really pretty rose gold glitter from Rose Mill, which is a business out of the Twin Cities. And so I'm going to add a little bit of sparkle to it. Probably more than what I need, but it's always kind of hard to judge how much. And then you're going to fold this over and remove the adhesive strip and seal it. And then I would also use a little bit of Scotch tape to make sure that gets held down securely. And then your shaker elements are all inside that bag and move freely inside there, and then you can choose to decorate it in any way you like. So you can see that's really easy to do and fun, and that is being called a faker shaker online. Here is another shaker card. In this case, it's a see-through shaker card that I learned how to make it on a recent Jennifer McGuire video. So whatever you decide to use on your front, you're going to cut a piece of that out, and that's going to go on the inside of your card, and you're going to see through this shaker part and put some beads or whatever you like. I'm really liking the seed beads when I can use them because they really move well. And I just put a sentiment strip there. This is an Altenew layered stencil set that I used for that. And of course all the details on all these cards will be in my description box. But this is a see-through shaker card that I made. I recently saw a wine shaker card with liquid wine in it from Jaime Kaufman on a Facebook group, and I was inspired to make this card. So you can see that the wine in there moves when you move the card. So it's like there's real wine in there that the recipient could drink. And may your day be filled with joy and wine is a stamp from My Favorite Things, as is this shaker part, and I'm going to show you that on the card that I make. This ruffled frame die is from Dies to Die For. I recently started designing with them, and I thought that was really perfect on the front of this card, and I used it again on the inside of the card with a happy birthday from Karen Burniston. So that might be my favorite of the ones that I made. I was inspired to try another liquid shaker card. In this case, I decided I wanted coffee. So I took a Karen Burniston coffee die and tried to make a liquid coffee card. I'm not as happy with how that turned out as this one. That one laid a lot nicer in there, but I did like this fun fold. It is a new fun fold that I just learned how to make. It's called Angle Pop-Up, and when you open it, this part here pops up, and I put another coffee cup and some coffee stains there. It's a beautiful day. So I do like the fun fold. This part didn't turn out quite as good as I like, although I think it is still pretty cool how that coffee in there moves around. So I decided to use the Angle Pop-Up fun fold and a wine shaker and mix the two together. I had pretty good success, but I'll show you some of the issues that I also had. But first of all, I'm going to show you how to make the Angle Fun Fold pop-up. Now I learned how to make this in a tutorial online, and I have a link in my description box to that tutorial, and it's not at all hard to do. I also have a link to the liquid shaker video that inspired Jamie's wine card. I had seen her wine card in a Facebook group, so I can't link that. And of course, like I said, all the products that I feature. So you're going to take a piece of scratch cardstock with a corner, and you're going to measure 3.5 inches this way and 2 3/4 this way. Draw a line and cut that triangle out. So you now have a template that you can use for all these cards that you're going to make. So again, it's 3.5 inches this way, 2 3/4 this way. Cut this with a scissors or your cutting tool, and then what you're going to do is you're going to take an A2 card, which is 5.5 wide by 8.5 inches tall, and we folded it in half, and we're going to use the template that we just cut to mark here and here. And then you're going to take a scoring tool. Now you can just use this and a ruler if you want. I have better success using my Scor-Buddy, and what you can do is I've marked this line here just with black permanent marker, so I know that when I line up this end and this end that it is going to be straight. And then I'm just taking a really good stylus, this case it's from Tonic, and I scored along that line thoroughly. Now if you're using thicker cardstock, you can turn it over and repeat. I think on this cardstock I didn't need to do that. And then you're going to have this line, and what you're going to do is you're going to fold in. So this is a mountain fold, this is a mountain fold, and that's a valley fold. And that is the shape of the card. Then you're going to take 3 pieces and you've cut them to 5 1/4 by 4. So it'd be like a layering piece on the top of a typical A2 card, okay? And you're going to need 3, well you don't have to, but you're going to probably want 3 pieces like this. Once again, you're going to take your template and you're going to mark with a pencil this end and this end. Now you could draw with the ruler the whole way, but I typically don't do that. What I do is I take my Fiskars paper cutter, and I am looking for the 2 lines that I just drew. There they are. Okay. And I'm going to line those marks up in the cutting groove, which is that line there. So I put that there and that there, and then I'm just going to trim that corner off. Then this piece is going to fit perfectly on the front of the card, and also you'll have to turn it, which I end up doing it, and this is really pretty two-sided paper. This one, one of them is going to be there and one of them is going to be here. Now on the card that I'm going to make, I made this one just in a off-white or a cream or a white, you know, so you can write on there. But you're going to need 3 pieces like that. And then you're going to take this triangle that you just cut off, and you're going to cut a quarter. This is your longer side. You're going to cut a 1/4 inch off your longer side, and I just happen to know that on this cutter, if I go to that first line, that's a 1/4 inch. So if you cut that off, this piece here is going to fit, and again it's two-sided paper, but this way it's going to fit there, and then this way it's going to fit there. So it's a really easy, fun fold to make once you have that template and you have your paper cut that way. So I have started my card, and on the inside I did use that pretty floral side up here. This Cheers is a die from Cutplorations. I used the floral part here and then the plaid part here, and then I guess I used yellow down here to just kind of match. This die is also from My Favorite Things, and this stamp set is called Good Time to Wine stamp set from My Favorite Things. So and you know, one thing you can do, I mean, that was like a long sentiment, so I just cut it apart and put it on there so it fit. I had originally stamped this stamp, Birthdays Are a Good Time to Wine, on this piece and attached it in advance. But I did end up having a few issues. I was sure I wanted to use this fun fold. I love this fun fold. And I obviously wanted to use this wine shaker die, which is also from My Favorite Things, and it's perfect for this because it's already created to be a shaker, so it cuts this piece out. And so I knew I loved the look of the wine from this glass, you know, from this one. I thought that looked really cool. However, when you create the piece that has your liquid shaker, you have to have room here for your bag to slide in and out, okay? And eventually, of course, it's going to be taped down. I was going to just have the wine glass on just this section here, but then it wasn't wide enough to put your liquid in. So I had to kind of mess around and obviously, you know, revamp this a little bit. So I guess, you know, when it comes, you have to take a look at what you're making your liquid shaker with, and what shape your card is. It was much easier here because I had that whole rectangle to work with. So I guess I wouldn't recommend that you try to combine this wine shaker with this, but I got it to work. So first of all, one thing I really like about this fun fold is you can make something pop on the inside. And I decided to make this real cheerful happy birthday pop up when the recipient opens it, the card. So I am going to glue on this cheerful happy birthday sentiment from Karen Burniston. And I get this open, and then it sits for a little while, and then it needs to have the needle in there again sometimes. This is my favorite glue, and I normally don't have any issues with it, but when it sits a little while I'm getting a video set, you sometimes need to open it again with the needle that fits in there perfectly when you're not using it. So I'm just going to attach this happy birthday I think I put some glue where I don't want it, but I'll take it off. With a paper towel. We should be okay. And then the happy birthday is going to hide away, and then when the recipient opens it, it's going to pop up. They'll see cheers, may your day be filled with joy and wine. So I have started this piece here. It is, again, it had to be wider, so I cut it in the shape of the top of this card. And this sentiment here, I had to move over a little bit and hide that I made that, but it all worked. So I have put the wine glass there, and I've put a piece of acetate behind it, and I'm using my favorite double-sided skinny foam tape strips from Motion Crafts, and I actually want 2 layers of them. So I will remove the cover on this layer and put another layer here. And the 2 layers are going to make it a good height to put the bag in with the wine. So we have 2 layers of the foam strips, and then this is the back of this piece, and it is going to attach, leaving a place to put the liquid in. This is to attach it to the card, but I'm going to just remove the strips, covers on the foam strips, to put the back on. So you can see there's some room there. And then I have a little baggie here. There's many different sizes of these available, and I put a link to some I found on Amazon. I have made some wine. This is water with a little bit of red food coloring in it. We're going to pour some in this little resealable bag. You don't need a lot. Seal it up. And we're going to slide it in here. And we're going to see if, yeah, that looks like a good amount. You don't want it too full, but you do want it to move around in there. I think we want a little more, just a little more maybe. Okay. Seal it carefully. Slide it in. Okay. Is the glass half full or half empty? It's about half full, I think. And then we're going to fold the top back down and seal it with tape. And because I have this cut off edge here, this is going to be a little more difficult than a straight edge to seal down, but I think I can do it so that doesn't show. And then we're going to attach it to the card. I have some good strong red liner tape here, and I think I'm going to need another piece of something at the top there, but we'll start here. I have some of this I can use quickly. So I maybe should have left out that extra little one, but it's fine. Extra little bit that I added. It's about 2/3 full now. And then we're going to attach this to the card, lining it up with the side. Yep, there's a bit much in there, but I think we're okay. This person really likes to drink and has a glass of wine that is going to move inside that bag. Birthdays are a good time to wine. May your day be filled with joy and wine. Happy birthday. Cheers. I don't know, I just thought it was really cool to play around with the liquid idea. I think I'm going to try this fold with a slim line, and then you'd have more room to work with the next time. I really like how this card turned out. But again, to make an easier liquid shaker card, I wouldn't suggest this shape. It was easier with just the rectangle shape that I did here. I did have fun though, trying unique ways to make shakers, and hope my cards inspire you to give these a try. Thanks for watching, sharing, and subscribing, and thanks too for helping me share the joy of creativity.